Tell me now, any objections you might get in giving that presentation? Anything at all that a real-life seller may say to you?
Do you work in this neighborhood?
Do I work in this neighborhood? And that is a great question, Kathy. And actually, what I'm going to give you right here is called the Market Action Report. And this is detailed information on your neighborhood. I mean everything. And I publish this every single month. It has everything from property sales, prices, months of standing inventory, going back 24 months, market time, selling price per square foot, everything on your local neighborhood. That's how involved or invested or committed I am into your neighborhood. It's called the Market Action Report. Here's a copy. You get these where? Where do you get these? Market Quest. It takes how long to create one? Don't tell Kathy, my client, but how long does it take to make one of these? Maybe 90 seconds. 3 hours. At least 3 hours. But it's worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. Let me ask, I'm going to ask the question that comes up a lot, that maybe you're afraid to ask, and that is, and upper end, think upper end for a minute. Geez, I'm seeing all kinds of Kentwood signs everywhere. I don't see many of your signs. Has that ever come up before? Okay, 3 answers. Answer number 1 that I would just use, that I think I'm most comfortable with, is to say, you know, you're right. I see these signs all around as well, and quite frankly, some of these signs, oh my gosh, they've become like permanent fixtures in the community. I mean, some of these people ought to have permits to have these signs. They've been there for so long. Now, I'll tell you, one of the things that sets us apart from the competition, by utilizing this marketing program, my goal is that you never see one of our signs around. That our signs come up, and then they come down. Because our job is not to simply list your property. It's to get your property sold. Does that make sense to you? Okay, that's one I would use. The other one I would use is this. You know, I'm driving in the street. It's Kentwood, or it's Fuller, but it doesn't matter, whatever it is. Whatever we happen to have, Remax, whatever it is. Just like people who market high-end and mid-range products of any kind, shirts to hotels to restaurants, the real goal is differentiation. The goal is being able to make sure that something stands out in the market. If I'm driving by 4 Remax signs, all of a sudden it becomes a blur. But if there's one beautiful Caldwell Banker preview sign sitting there, that stands out. It's my job to create differentiation in your neighborhood. I want to make sure your home isn't just like everyone else's. Okay? I said there were 3, didn't I? I forgot the 3rd one. You'll come to me later on. Another objection you might get.
I don't want a sign in my yard.
I don't want a sign in my yard, okay? Comes up oftentimes. And I think that when that occurs, certainly if it's a deal breaker for the listing, fine, list it, not a big deal. But here's what I would say. I would say, you know, we don't have to put a sign in the front yard. We don't have to. But it would be sort of like this. It would be sort of like you're asking me to run the Cherry Creek, what's it called, the Colfax Marathon? Such a beast? Is there such a beast? The Colfax Marathon. And I'm a favorite to win, by the way. I mean, I'm really good. I've been training for 2 years. I'm eating right, all the right things. And what you're asking me to do is, you're asking me to take my shoes. You're asking me to wear, instead of the pair of Nike tennis shoes that are designed specifically for me to run the marathon, you're asking me to wear 1 shoe. Now, I can still run it. And let me tell you, I will run it hard and fast. This foot will be bloody. It'll be a mess. Yeah, it may be huge damage, but I won't win. I will not be able to win. But I will do it because that's the kind of person I am. I'll market your home without a sign, but I got to tell you, you are giving me an amazing handicap that at the end of the day is not going to give you the results you're looking for. And so I would say, why don't you want a sign? Why don't give me any reason?
Security.
I don't want my neighbors to know my house is on the marketplace. Okay, well, I got to let you know that the best thing we can do to get your home sold for the highest possible price in the timeline you set forth is to make sure your neighbors are your best salespeople. I need your neighbors' best friends. I need your neighbors' co-workers to buy your home. And if I can't leverage that important group of people, I can get it done. It's going to take longer. You may not get the price you want. Are you okay with that? Okay, good. Other objections? Then we got to...
Is Kathy's brother, I just want to mention that you just stick it up for her. There's other people that'll do this for less. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact.
Wow. Well, geez, okay. Who in particular have you been talking to there, Kevin?
Glad
your brother. Oh,
Metro Brokers Bologna Sandwich said that they would do it for 4.5%.
4.5%? Jeez, you're kidding me. Well, let's start with this, Kevin, just so I get my bearings here. Walk me through on this graph. Walk me through where Metro Brokers is on the graph.
They're not on there.
Nowhere? They're nowhere on the upper end selling list of the graph? You're kidding me. Well, I think there's maybe a reason for that. You see, just like you live in a magnificent home, and just like you drive a beautiful car, you have set certain standards in your life. I think you would agree that selling homes, like living a life, is very different in different price points. It's a very different proposition to sell a $200,000 foreclosed property than it is to market and successfully sell a beautiful $1.3 million home like yours. And quite frankly, I would imagine the reason that they are not on the list is because they don't have the tools, systems, and expertise to get the job done the way you want to get it done. Now, I'm not saying you can't use them, because you can certainly use them. I just think you're